What's up, everybody? Tasha checking in with another video, and this is going to be none other than my review for Belle Collective Season 6, Episode 4. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and like this video up, subscribe to the channel, and comment in the comment section, okay? So we're going to get into this week's review, y'all. Child, this week was the same foolery, some of the same foolery from last week, and we're going to talk about it, okay? Now, I'm going to include videos in this live, so I hope you all enjoy, okay? So I'm going to give YouTube a few minutes to get it to the other people. When you subscribe to the channel, make sure your notification button is on. That will let the YouTube know that you want to watch the video, and it will push it out to the algorithm by liking the video and making sure your notification button is on, okay? So we're about to get into this week's review of the Belle Collective, okay? All right, y'all, let me put my first photo up and let's get into it. All right, y'all, so last week, y'all already know that Glendale is out here in these streets acting up yet again. If y'all don't know who Glen is Letitia's husband, the lady with the long hair and the colorful outfit, right? So he is out here cheating again. Hold on, y'all. Let me re-add this because, all right, there we go. So he is out here cheating again, okay? A couple of seasons ago, you know, he was cheating. It was possibility rumored that he had a baby. And now he is up here, you know, old dogs ain't changed no tricks or spots or nothing. So he's still out here doing the same old thing, right? And so we open up. She's trying to get to the bottom of it. The lady in the red hair says that Glen has been sliding in her DMs and been sending her messages. So his wife says, well, let me see the messages. Right here, they are. She's pulling up the Instagram and the Facebook Messenger messages, and they were from like a year ago. And so because of that, his wife is like, well, these were from a year ago, so how am I supposed to believe that this is actually, you know, a thing, and you're not just trying to be thirsty and fishing? She claims because her and Glen and made this recommitment at the beginning of the year, that if these messages became after their commitment, then she would have a problem with it, right? So meanwhile, while she's outside talking to the chick, inside the house, her husband Glen in a white wife beater rolls up on the girl sitting down, which is Amanda's friend. Now, Amanda is the girl that is accused Glendale of sliding her DMs that we just saw. Her friend is sitting down named Jovan, and Jovan lets us know that I saw the DMs, so you're lying, dude. You've been sliding in her DMs trying to get with her. And he's like, who are you? The fact that he felt like he could stand over this woman, whether she is a dom or butch or whatever you want to call her, woman, she's still a woman. You're standing over her, Glen, like you're about to do something, okay? So Marie says to Letitia, you know, you need to come in here and get Glen because he's standing over Javon because he's mad that she said something. So Glen goes ahead, separates, and walks off from the situation. Javon, the girl sitting down, let Marie know, listen, you know that I'm not lying. You know how Glendale is. You know he got a wandering penis, okay? And you know that he is out here cheating and sliding up in the DMs, okay? So they're still outside. She's pleading her case, letting Letitia know that your man not only slid in my DMs in 2023, he's also slid in my DMs recently as of February, okay? And Letitia is like, wait, February, we recommitted to each other in January. Ma'am, whether you recommitted to each other in January or not, your man is a cheater. I believe once a cheater, always a cheater, okay? He ain't gonna change at all. So while she's inside telling her this, the man is outside and Glen is up here talking about, you know, I ain't did nothing, trying to plead his case to the brother circle. You know, this photo had me messed up because why is Marie standing out there with her possibly BBL booty right beside her man? We know that you and Cedric are back together, but this is a man circle with man conversation, Marie. Why are you standing out there dressed like that and inside of the man circle? Move your BBL inside the house with the other females. You don't need to be out there trying to discuss anything, find anything, but I believe Marie was out there like Latrice was doing on this episode, trying to figure out who was going to say what and if they were going to involve their names in it, because I believe Marie knows something about the situation before it erupted at this cookout, because Jovan, the girl sitting down, is Marie's cousin, okay? And so While the men are outside, they're still having a conversation, trying to get to the bottom of it. Latrice walks up, and Latrice says that she's mad that Latrice is walking up because she wants to have a one-on-one conversation with this woman, and she don't need Latrice walking up, interrupting the good old conversation. Okay, so when she tells Letitia, which is the wife of Glenn, that we've been talking as early as February. So Letitia says, you know what, let's go find Glenn and get to the good old bottom of this. Because what you're not going to do is sit up here and accuse him of something, and he's not here to defend himself. So they decide to team up together and walk over to Glenn. While they're walking over to him, y'all can see Glenn in the background. You got Cliff over there, like, calm down, don't get mad. Here they come to expose you and confront you and all this stuff. Okay, so they slide over to where they're at, and they out there smoking blunts and black miles or whatever the heck they doing, right? And she comes over there and she's like, is this something further than just these DMs? Tell me what's going on. She keeps looking at old girl over here in the red, and she's like, ask your husband. He's standing right here. She's up here asking Glenn. Glenn is talking about some, he didn't do nothing with her. All he did with the girl was dance with the girl. Okay, he said he ain't take no booty and he ain't bring no booty home or none of that. Okay, I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I believe that there's more to this story than just him dancing with her. Yeah, maybe he slid in her DMs back in 2023 or whatever, and they recommitted themselves to each other this year. But I believe there's more to it than just what Glenn is alluding to. We get Carrie and her husband, Matt. They sitting up here talking some child. This is a whole hot mess. Good thing that it's happening to them and not to us. Okay. And it's kind of like when other married couples are going through stuff, it does give you a deeper perspective on your marriage. You begin to say, you know what, we may have our ups and downs, but at least we ain't got this going on and that going on that they got going on. Okay, so it gives you a deeper understanding and appreciation. Okay, so after this whole drama happened, right? The next day, Carrie and Marie get together and they decide to go check on Letitia, okay? And my thing is, y'all act like the woman lost somebody in her family or whatever. It's cheating Glenn again. He cheated once. He cheated probably before the show even came on. He's been a cheater. And this woman continues to stay with him. So why y'all checking on her like it's something major going down when it's not, okay? But I guess for the show, they have to try to be a good friend to Letitia, okay? So they come up in here with flowers, and Marie had a bottle of something. It looked like Tito's that she was holding in her hand, but I'm not sure. They up here giving her drinks and flowers and everything like that. And Letitia's up here look like she's been sitting there like she's an extra from Waiting to Exhale, up here crying and the whole nine, okay? Carrie, she's trying to be good to her. She said that's her girl. She gives her a hug, and y'all can see that Letitia right here is doing some fake little crying. I ain't see a tear roll out of her eye in this moment, but she's having a very emotional moment because she can't believe that her husband that always cheated again. Okay, and then we get to the part where they're sitting down on the couch in her house, and look at Marie's face. Maria's looking like, girl, why am I here for this foolery? Because you already know that this man is a cheater. He's been a cheater. And I don't know why you sit up here crying on the Bible and hear all that mess, right? And so her face just took me out. So Letitia sitting up here telling them that, she is upset at this party because the party was at Latrice's house. And she feels like Latrice and Cliff set up her and Glenn by bringing that woman there, by asking that question that was asked, okay? And it was a whole setup against their marriage. And then she shows the girl that, look, Latrice is calling now to check on me, right? Listen, I'm not saying that the question wasn't messy. I feel that the question was messy. I didn't see the point of the question, honestly. The game was just a little bit too much. Yes, it should have not been played. I feel that it was a messy question. It was a messy game. However, Letitia, stop blaming people for your husband having a wandering penis, okay? He is the one that cheated. He is the one that slid in DMs. Had he never cheated, had he never slid in nobody's DM, you would not have to deal with the fact that you were now crying the river again over another woman accusing him of cheating. But she wants to blame Latrice now because it was her party. Oh, okay, I see how this is going. Okay, and I'm not saying Latrice is innocent, but don't blame this person. Now we get Marie, and Marie says to her with Carrie, she says, listen, I don't mean to sound harsh, I don't mean to sound like a jerk, Letitia, but Latrice has showed you her hand time and time again, and this is what your tail get for not believing me when I said that this woman was a low down, dirty snake. I said, Dad, Marie. So Letitia starts crying because all the emotions is welling up because Glen is cheated again. And so Marie goes and she gives her a hug and she tells her that she loves her. Carrie is sitting there like just being on camera. Carrie don't really want to be there. Carrie don't really see it for Letitia for real. But she want to act like she do because Letitia is kind of the top cast member of the show. So she's just sitting there trying to be comforting and encouraging or what have you. Okay. Fast forward, we get over to good old Latrice. Okay, Latrice is about to go pull up on her friend Amanda. Amanda is the one that is accusing Glen of sliding in her DMs, child, and of cheating. All right, and I'm gonna pull up a picture of Amanda, and she says that she's gonna go talk to her about what happened last night. And so she rolls up, here's Amanda in the blue, she brings her some coffee and stuff, and they decide to take a good old walk and have a chat. Latrice lets us know that the Bells are going to blame her for the party. They're going to blame her for everything that happened at the party, and she says she's just preparing herself for it. Okay, and yes, they're going to blame you because it was your party, it was your questions, you were the one that orchestrated the whole thing. What kind of adult party ensues where you ask the people that's supposed to be friends, oh, do you like somebody in the group? Have you been attracted to somebody in the group? Everybody in the group is mostly married, so why don't you even ask that question? Amanda lets us know that, Glen has been hitting on her as of recent. She said that she was at Taste, and Taste is Latrice's restaurant that she has with her husband. She was at Taste, and Glen has put his hands around her waist while Letitia was in the room. Okay, and I am not going to say I don't believe her because Glen is a creepy, nasty, low down, dirty dog, okay, in my opinion. And so I would not put it past him to be up in Taste where his wife is at this restaurant and flirting with another woman, okay? So Latrice says, they shouldn't be mad at me because I gave my staff some questions and they were to orchestrate it and put it together. Now we see a clip of this is one of her staff members, and this is the paper of questions, and she basically told them to mix up the questions and ask, make sure that we have a good time when the other couples get here on the night of the pool party. Okay, so now Latrice is trying to blame her cast members. Glen and Letitia is trying to blame Cliff and Latrice. It's just a whole foolery cycle. Okay, everybody's trying to blame everybody and nobody's taking accountability. Okay, fast forward, we get over to Matt. Okay, Matt is Carrie's husband. We see Matt, he is saying that he is an agent as well as a sports agent. He also coaches and trains people and things of that nature. So we see him at the batting range. He says in baseball, being a black baseball player is a huge minority, and so he wants to give back to his players, okay, by doing certain things. Okay, so Carrie, last week her and Matt had a conversation where she doesn't show up as much, right? And so Carrie decides to pop up while he's training this guy with some smoothies. And I'm like, Carrie, you could have waited till this man got home and made him a nice little dinner so y'all can have a conversation. Oh no, Carrie says that she was in the area, and so because she wants to show her husband that she's putting in more of an effort, she pops up while he's coaching this guy, and she brings smoothies. All right. So in this moment, he says, "Wow, what are you doing here?" She's like, "Well, I just wanted to pop up on you, see how you're doing." He does not like this woman, in my opinion. Now they have been together since they were 16 years old. And look at the way his body language is. It's almost like she's bothering him. He's very standoffish when it comes to her. She needs to pick up some clues because something is going on within their marriage. Every time they get on camera, it just makes me feel like he doesn't really want to be there. It reminds me of on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya's husband, when he was on there that season. He just acts like he does not want to be bothered with this lady at all. At all. And it's not just on this particular episode, it was on last week's episode too. He just does not see it for her. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. That's what I think. He just really don't want to be bothered with this lady. Okay. And so Hold on, y'all. I'm adding more images for you all. And so, he talking to her, what you doing here? He said, look, I gotta go. Look at the daggone player. He's sitting there like, dude, I'm up here trying to get conditioned for a baseball camp or whatever he's about to do, and you got your wife rolling up here. Can you tell her to take these smoothies and get the heck get out of here, okay? And so she just like, well, I just stopped to say, hey, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave, okay? Next up is Marie and her ex-husband Cedric. Okay, Marie decides to go see Cedric at his hair school. Now, I didn't know. She calls him professor. He is a professor at a hair school, and the hair school is actually by his house. All right, so that's Marie. This is her ex-husband. When she pulls up, he is about to Beijing his beard. He got some little dye and everything, so he about to color the good old beard. And she's like, "Oh, let me help you," because that's how they met. And Marie, let me tell you something. Marie has her hand in a little bit of everything. And she said they met in hair school, so she's going to help him Beijing the beard out. She talked to him briefly, and she was telling him, look, I don't like the fact that you have your house still right here by your hair school, because their marriage ended due to infidelity. Now, she didn't say if she cheated or he cheated. She just said she don't like that. Because Latrice told us while she was talking to her friend Amanda that her husband Cliff is staying at these apartments above their restaurant. He hasn't been coming home or doesn't like to come home. And Marie, she decides that she's gonna go check on her investment, her ex-husband, because they're in a good space. They may be trying to get back together and all of that. And so she just wants him to know, you don't need this bachelor pad, because I don't want to end up singing the same song that Latrice is singing with her husband. And so Marie is trying to figure out, why is it that these men just seem to not want to, have something on the side? Why do they need to have that? Okay. Anyway, fast forward, we get back to Carrie and her husband. Okay, let me put them up. And Carrie decides that she wants to really double down on showing her husband that she is invested in making their marriage a thing. Okay, and so her husband, she said she's going to have a surprise for him when he comes home and all of that. So he comes home, right, and Carrie is waiting there in her Pepto-Bismol dress. Okay. She comes in, she has a blindfold. Look how he's looking at her. He's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And so Carrie is saying, I want to really show you that I'm appreciative of you, and I want to surprise you with something. So put the blindfold on so we can go, have a little date night. She takes him to the backyard, and she hired a decorator to do this beach coastal thing. She had put up some charcuterie board. She got some champagne and all this other stuff. She really trying to lay it on thick, because she's like, I want to really pour into my husband some more. And this was one of his complaints, which makes me feel like, why is he acting like she's bothering him? He even complained that he doesn't see much of her, and that he wants her to be more involved and all this stuff. And when she does do it, now he gets the attitude about it, or he acts like he's a little standoffish, in my opinion. He just feels like he doesn't want to be bothered with her. And maybe it's for the fact that they've been together for so many years. So this is Carrie. She's opening up, the champagne and everything. She says she's never done this before. He even says that, this is the nicest thing she's ever done for him. And I'm like, dang, that's the nicest thing she's ever done for him. And so now I'm looking at her like, dang, girl, well, maybe you are not investing time into your marriage, but she says that she is going to try. I didn't like the fact that he said that she told him that one of his flaws is that he ignores her and the kids. Okay, and so he says that, well, he has two daughters. They're talking to him. His son is very talkative. Then he has his wife with a strong personality. So he said he kind of zones out when a lot of things are going on at one time. And I'm just looking at him like, but these are the things that you said that you want her to start doing. Like, make up your mind, right, sir? Because he said he does like words of affirmation. He said he wants her to show up and be present. And then when she starts doing these things, then you get an attitude. Or not even an attitude. Let me stop saying he has an attitude. But you get a little standoffish when Carrie starts showing up to the table and starts showing you that she wants to be a part and really save her marriage, And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with what she wants to do. They have been together for a very long time. This is a picture of them when they were 16 years old. She said she knew at this point in time that he was going to be her husband. And so now, fast forward, they got kids. They've been together for a length of time. You know, you have to continue to shake things up in marriage, or it will get stale. You will start to get bored. You will start to have wandering pings. Shout out to Glen. Okay, and you will start to, seem a little different, okay, in the marriage. So you got to show up. So fast forward, y'all, we get to Glen and his stepfather, right? They are out here working on the garage, okay? And so I think it's the garage they were working on. So they're out there painting and doing all types of other little things. And the stepfather is telling Glenn, that you're a good man. You're a good man, Savannah. He telling him about Glenn is telling him about everything that happened at the cookout and all of that. He's like, you're a good man, when you're doing good, that's when the devil tries to show up, or that's when you're doing good, all these things start happening. And I'm looking at the stepfather like, how is this man good? He's cheated on this woman several times. Instead of you telling this man, you need to get your act together, stop cheating on your wife. This is why this is happening, because you have built a reputation out there in the Mississippi streets that you are a cheater. Instead of him doing that, he goes and tries to pour affirmations into him like he's some type of really solid man. So Letitia comes out because she wants to have a conversation with Glenn, and the stepfather is like, oh my gosh, hey pretty lady, give me a hug. And she says, how y'all doing? Y'all, the work looks good. I want to talk to Glenn for a minute. Can you give me a minute, right? And the stepfather is like, yeah, we're going to, I can give you a minute, because she said she has not spoke to Glenn since the cookout. So it's been 2 days since she spoke to him. The next day, she said Glenn had left really early for work. And I'm like, yeah, he left early for work because he needed time to get his story together, ma'am. So the father leaves and she's like, it looks good out here. I just want to talk to you for a minute. I'm going to sit over here in this chair. And Glenn tries to say, oh, okay, are you going to sit over here to help me? You're going to work? Or, when she's like, no, I'm just going to sit out here and I'm just going to talk to you for a minute, okay? And Glenn is up here pleading his case, right? Look at this whole F-boy face. That's what it looks like right here, right? He up here trying to plead his case, and he's up here talking about look, I didn't do nothing. I don't know why people up here assuming that I've been with somebody and did this and did that. Why are they saying this, Glenn? Because you have a past. You have cheated in the past. So when you have done something, yes, you can come from your past. Nobody's saying that you have to, just because you did that in the past, that's who you're going to be. But it's easy for people to accuse you when you had a past of some things until you have a track record of showing them something different. So of course, Letitia starts crying because she's just like, I don't understand why all these people keep coming at me. I try to be so nice to people and people keep trying to take me and my family down. Letitia, the person that's taking you down is the man that's kissing you on the forehead trying to wipe your tears away. That's the person that's taking you down. You sit up here keep dealing with this raggedy Negro for years and years and years, knowing he's cheating on you, and you sit up here crying the river. Girl, I don't even feel sorry for Letitia in this moment, because this man has shown you who he is. He constantly continues to cheat, and all you do season after season, this show has been on for 6 seasons, and we've seen you crying the river of all the stupid stuff that Glenn is doing. And you don't even believe it when it comes to you, because you feel y'all have recommitted yourselves to each other. And so you can't believe nothing nobody else says. Glenn is a bastard. He's a punk. You need to get rid of him. When you take out the trash and you get rid of this man that's sucking you dry, then you will realize how your life will change. Your skin might get clearer. You might drop some pounds. You might, your brunches that you do may start to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the baggage, the trash. Take out the trash. But she's one of them women that wants to be married just to say that they're married, knowing good and as well that the man you're married to is not good for you. Hold on, y'all. Why is my computer acting like this? Sorry, y'all. And it's sad to see this. I hate when women dumb themselves down for a man. Like, look at her. She up here crying. Look, he got her on national TV out here crying, looking all crazy. He wiping her tears, and all she does is say, "We're good. We're gonna get through this. Everything's gonna be okay." No, stop cheating. What is wrong with you? Do you love this woman? Do you want to be with her? If you don't want to be with her and you want to be the whole of Mississippi, why don't you just go ahead and do that, sir? But you're sitting up here, steady cheating on her season after season, and all she do is cry. You make her empty promises. She takes you back, and then here we are again. We don't care at this point. At this point, I'm sick of seeing it, and I don't care. I'm like Marie. This is exactly what you get. When Marie was warning her about Latrice being a snake in the grass, and she said she'd been warning her for years, and so that serves you right. And Marie, you also should have said your husband been cheating for I don't know how long. So if he continues to cheat and you don't leave him or do anything, that serves you right as well. But Letitia ain't going nowhere because she is going to allow Glen to make her all these empty promises, going to allow Glen to whisper all these sweet nothingness in her ear, and she's going to be right there drying her eyes and being the dutiful wife and trying to build these businesses and have this family. No, shake off the trash because he out here doing something. He out here doing something. Can't nobody come tell me nothing about my husband because I trust him and know he ain't doing nothing. And he doesn't have a track record of cheating or doing anything like that. But Glen has a strong track record. And even before this show, we don't even know what he's been doing before the show. He could have been cheating before this show even aired. We don't know. But anyway, y'all, that's my review on the Belle Collective child. This daggone episode was, on a scale of 1 to 10, I always give it a rating. On the scale of 1 to 10, it was about a 6. I give it a 6, okay? If you all like this type of thing, I do the Belle Collective, the Braxtons. Those are the 2 shows that I'm currently reviewing. I actually was supposed to review the Braxtons on Sunday and the Belle Collective on Saturday, but I mixed up my days. But the Braxton review is already up on my channel if you want to check that out. I review this show also, of course, like I've already done normally on Saturdays. But this review will be going up right after if you miss any parts of this review. I do product reviews. I do motivation on my shorts. I do recipes from time to time. This is a lifestyle channel. So I do a plethora of a lot of things on this channel. If you like that type of thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notification bell is on. Make sure replay watchers that you comment in the comment section. What do you think about Letitia and Glen? Are you sad for her? Or are you like Marie? That's exactly what you get. Do you feel like that or do you feel the other way? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I love y'all so much. I will be out on tomorrow with Motivational Monday. I know I haven't done Motivational Monday in a little while, but I'm going to be out on Monday with Motivational Monday shorts, so look out for that, y'all. Okay? Make sure you share this video. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure your notification button is on. And make sure you smash that like button so that my videos can get out there in the algorithm, okay? I love y'all so much. Until we meet again. Bye.